Hello and welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. Kay Murray, Shaka Hislop and Stevie Nicol here in the studio. And just when we thought it was going to be a quiet Thursday edition, the European Super League has resurfaced. There are new proposals.
Like the Loch Ness Monster, this thing.
Did they ever learn?
Here's how things are looking right now with a fresh update, shall we say. 60 to 80 teams across multiple divisions. It would be an open competition based solely on sporting merit from domestic leagues. So that means there would be no permanent member clubs. And it would be a minimum of 14 games per club per season. Julian Laurent is joining us now because we have a lot to unpack when it comes to today's news. So let's get talking about this. It's back again, Jules. What's going on here?
Yes, that's true. It's back again. We expected them at some point to come up with a new version of the Super League, of course, A22, which is the company, if you want, the group that was formed by Barcelona, Real Madrid and Juventus to be the face of the project, if you want, and come up and do a lot of interviews. And they're everywhere today, and they will be tomorrow as well, to put forward this new project, or certainly the new version of it, to try to make it more likable. Basically, remember, your fans hated the first version of the Super League, the closed leagues, only for the European top dogs, the biggest clubs, blah, 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 all of that. Well, it's not the case. Look, we're opening it up. It's more democratic. It's for everybody. You go up and down the leagues. You qualify through your domestic league, so it's not direct. All of that, which in the end, like La Liga has put it, let's not be fooled by this new version, because actually it's the same ideas as before. They're just trying to make it more likable.
Jules, is there a hint of sarcasm from you there?
Not really. I just think, like, you know, what they've put forward, the 10 principles that they put forward today is very much what the new format of the Champions League, really, which is going to start in 2024, is about. You don't see the difference, how they differentiate themselves at the Super League. They want a minimum of 14 games per team. I mean, where do you fit those games? Already the players are overplayed. They complain that they're playing too much. And you want to add even more games into this competition. 14 more games per club is a lot. Trust me, is a lot for those European ones. How is that going to work with the domestic league? So there's still so many questions, and it's just another way for the Super League to try to come back onto the agenda.
Jules, you did mention La Liga there. La Liga and its president, Javier Tebas, have condemned the new proposals. This is La Liga's response to the ESL proposal, saying, "We are aware that A22, the Super League promoters, are pushing a story today, presenting a manifesto with 10 principles. Our response, don't let them fool you. They've been telling tales for many years. This is just the latest attempt by big clubs to hijack European football." Javier Tebas putting out this little picture here and said the Super League is the wolf who today disguises himself as a granny to try to fool European football. But his nose and teeth are very big. 4 divisions in Europe, of course, the first for them, as in the 2019 reform. Government of the clubs, of course, only the big ones. And then there's news today as well, Jules, that Tebas has excluded Real Madrid and Barcelona from TV negotiations. So because of this, because of the Super League and their ties to it, so where's this going to leave La Liga and its top 2 teams?
I mean, for me, that's the most fascinating aspect of today, is that the battle, really, or the fight, let's say, between La Liga and Javier Tebas especially, and Real Madrid and Barcelona, Joan Laporta and Florentino Perez, is that it's escalated even more. It's a step up now, because for them to be expelled from those group meetings, not being able to vote, by the way, this is what also has been taken away from them. It's quite serious. We knew that there's been a tension for a long time now between them three, and it's even bigger now. So I don't know where this is going to lead. I mean, La Liga can't really do without Real Madrid and Barcelona. Real Madrid and Barcelona obviously need La Liga too. So this mini war between them is not good. It's not good for anyone. It's not good for the clubs. It's not good for La Liga either. It's not a good look for Javier Tebas, for the clubs too. So this is also the issue created by the Super League, is that you will face and you will be the opposition against your own league. And that's what we saw very vividly, of course, in England, when the English clubs were involved in the first version of the Super League, and the backlash that happened with their own leagues and with their own fans as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the Premier League teams there, Jules. It seems as though they've kept a distance from these new proposals here. But if Manchester City is to get sanctioned, could things change there?
Maybe, yes. I mean, it's hard to tell now. Of course, we need to wait and see what the sanctions, if sanctions they are or they will be against City, what they will be, and then what decision City can take. I think could you have a risk of having what's happening in golf, for example, and a proper divide between LIV and the rest of the circuit, you know, and the rest of the PGA Tour and the majors and stuff like that within European football as well. So some play the Champions League, some play the Super League, and you have some top clubs in one, some top clubs in the other. I don't know if that's possible. UEFA, as we know, can obviously block, and we know there's also currently a court trial and trial going on, and we're waiting for the court, like the European Court of Justice to have a say about the first version of the Super League and what UEFA can do or can't do to block it and to oppose it. So that will also be interesting to follow. But today was clearly a bit of a seduction move by the Super League and A22 to say, look, we've changed, we've evolved. We're not the big bad wolf that we used to be before, and what we wanted to impose on European football. Now it's a little bit different. It's something that you might like and you might fancy, and all of this, which let's wait and see the response of the club. And we already had the response from the FSA here in England that was very, very against that new version. So it's still a long, long way for the Super League clubs, and especially the three main ones, to be accepted and for that second version to be maybe considered.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.